Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't forget to hit that subscribe button, a thumbs up, turn on notifications so you know when I'm doing a live stream or posting a video. Thank you for all the support on the channel. I appreciate it. And also don't forget to check out the links in the description as well. Alright, so it has been per usual, it's been pretty big couple of days for the Snyder Cut fandom, and even beyond that, we have again, broke the boundaries with hashtags and trending on social media, specifically Twitter. That's kind of where this lives most of the time, as far as being able to see the numbers, how much people are talking about this stuff. And so yesterday was a big day, and I think it's going to continue. The number's going to continue to count the hashtags and how much we are trending. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Obviously, that's kind of become the new campaign. Now that first it was, release the Snyder Cut. We got the Snyder Cut now, and so where else do we go from there? But we want that to continue in some way, shape, or form. So restore the Snyderverse is now the new release the Snyder Cut. So yes, let's go ahead and look at just how well this has been, how much this has really been talked about. Okay, so as of right now, I would say, of course it's always going to be going up because people are constantly tweeting and stuff, but it's reached about 1.5 million tweets, and that's within a 24-hour-ish period, which is pretty incredible. That's pretty insane. Of course, Zack Snyder is acknowledging that this is happening, that this did happen. He tweeted, not tweeted on Vero, he shared a screenshot, restore the Snyderverse. At this time, it was at 1.42 million tweets, and he's like, wow, just wow, everyone. So obviously, of course, he's paying attention, he's acknowledging what the fans, and even people outside of the fandom, are tweeting about this and talking about it. And it's not just, it has grown so much beyond just the intimate Snyder fans. Now that the movie is out, it's getting so much more attention outside of that core fan base. Pop culture in general. Not just movie critics, but people in entertainment, whether that be music, sports, if they work for a magazine or a publishing company, a radio stations. I've seen all types of different people with verified check marks, which I know that's not always the main thing when people are talking about it, but that just that shows you that people with verified check marks, they have a large following, they have an established audience, and whatever they do in their line of work or their whatever it is that they do. And that is a big deal because it really shows that Warner Brothers was kind of just thinking when this Snyder, when Release the Snyder Cut became a thing, they're kind of just thinking oh, it's a small group of people, it's a vocal minority, it's not a huge general fan base outside of that. And this is, now that the movie is out and people are watching it, it's just proving that wrong, 100%. Which is great. Not to be trying to butt heads or nothing like that, but it really is not, it's really not just people that were heavily involved in doing the release of Snyder Cut movement. It's people also outside of that, regardless of how much they know about what went on. And so it's, it's important to mention that. So the Nerd Queens had commented, I think it's probably on the post that Zack shared of the wow, your art brought us together. Other fans, we will stop at nothing to obtain the Snyderverse. Ready the Armada, we will use the old ways. People have been using that line a lot for this situation. What more can we do? We are ready and united. Zack Snyder replied to the Nerd Queens, did we beat Avengers? And I believe he's referring to Avengers Endgame as far as number of the tweets and stuff like that. They replied, yes, hell yes we did. So that's also a pretty big deal. And I don't say that as oh, we need to beat Marvel. No, but it's how much are that Endgame, of course, garnered huge discussion and conversation. And so it's, like Zack said, that's a story, which it is because, yes, Marvel is obviously, the main competition and all of that. But just, in general, like I said, how much attention and conversation that movie, most Marvel movies, but especially Endgame, was their huge one, how much it gains attention. And so it's a pretty big deal that this movie not even being in theaters is getting out there this much, being talked about. Of course, Ray Porter was showing support, hashtag restore the Snyderverse, wow. It's a big deal. It's a big thing for the fandom. It's a big thing for Zack. Obviously, he appreciates the support and he makes that known. He makes that obvious. So that's what we have to keep doing. We have to keep, we've been in this situation before. We've been told that, we're never going to get the Snyder Cut. We've heard all of these things before, like I mentioned in my video yesterday. So just keep going. Jason Kilar is paying attention. AT&T is paying attention. HBO Max is paying attention because they're the ones invested in this. And Sarnoff is not obviously invested in it. It was not Warner Brothers' decision. They're not the ones who wanted to release the completed Snyder Cut. They wanted him to release the unfinished version that he had on his laptop. Obviously, we know why he said that was never going to happen. HBO Max said yes, which I talked about that in my video yesterday. They're the ones who said yes. And, Warner Brothers and Sarnoff, she's not the end all be all to this. So we just got to keep that in mind. Here's a question. Do you promise us that you will go as blanking dark and complex in the future of Snyderverse as you did for BVS? Because we are fighting for your art right here, sir. That art made us come together. And Zack replied, I only do it how I do it. You know that. Which, again, like I was talking about in my video yesterday when I was covering... I was talking about, the pushback that Zack had continued to face from the studio and that they didn't want him to use Jon Stewart. They didn't want him to, shoot any additional footage for the Snyder Cut. He did anyway. And he was like, you're going to push me, I'm going to push back harder. And like I said, not in a confrontational, disrespectful way, but like if I'm really going to finish this movie and release it, like I said, I told the fans, I told the world that they're going to get this they're going to get my original vision and what I want for the movie, and that's what I'm going to do. And so, they ended up, of course, letting him do the Martian Manhunter and the epilogue. But, again, this is not all Warner Bros. Decision. They are not the only ones in charge anymore. And clearly, the fans and people outside of that fandom are making known what they want to see moving forward. That doesn't mean that you can't watch other movies that are coming out, like Suicide Squad or whatever else they decide to come out with. The Robert Pattinson Batman movie and things like that. Like, you can still watch those movies and enjoy them. But it's also, if you do want the Snyderverse to continue, it's important to make that known. It's important not to cancel your HBO Max subscriptions or whatever platform that you are watching it on where you live. So it's important to keep showing that support, just like we have been all of this time. And Zack is replying to people on Vero saying like, yes, keep watching, keep doing it, you guys are doing a great job, get other people to watch, that's what matters the most. I don't know why we haven't gotten specific numbers for Zack Snyder's Justice League. We've passed the 1 week mark now. I don't know why we haven't gotten those things. Hopefully they'll release them. All we've really seen is like, oh, within the first 5 minutes, this many households in the U.S. watched it or whatever. Like, but they weren't even, I don't think, from HBO Max. So I would like official things to show, to see what those numbers are. Like, I think everyone really wants to know that. But, we'll see. Anyways, keep the, hashtags going. Show your support. Don't be toxic, as people say. Don't spam Warner Brothers or nothing like that. Don't give them a reason to think that we're toxic. I saw a tweet earlier that I liked, and it said, if you go looking for toxic fans, you'll find them, because every fandom has them. If you go looking for that behavior and that's what they choose to focus on instead of the massive good, that the fandom has done as a whole, that's what they're going to find. They can choose to ignore that, we've raised money and awareness for AFSP, and we continue to do so, including this weekend during the Us United streaming event that's happening over Saturday and Sunday. So, focus on the positivity, keep showing Zack, HBO Max, AT&T, Jason Kilar what we want. And that we would, we can have both sides of what they want to put out there. So, thank you guys for the support. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. Subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys next time.